I want to make a video about copyright. I think copyright should be much reduced. I think those who have made anything are at least largely swayed by the culture that they lived in. For example, it'd be impossible to develop science from scratch in a single lifetime. You must have lived on the work of your forebears from the culture you came from. Now that means that you owe something to that culture. So you shouldn't be able to deprive it of whatever it assisted you to create forever. You should have to allow your contribution to it to sink into the public domain at some time to enrich the culture as a whole and not keep it as your own forever, since other people haven't done that when they've raised you in their cultures. You're not having to pay back huge, endless debts that other people might claim that you owe to them culturally. So why should people have to pay to you endlessly? I don't think it's fair. I do think copyright should be for the length of a single natural lifetime at the most, which would be 70 years and 10, according to the Bible anyway. That's 70 years. That's not hugely long. Really, if someone's done something really good and very popular that everybody likes, then why shouldn't they get something back for all the happiness or health or whatever they've given to others? You know, you could make a case for it being a lifetime, but passing it on through generations is just unfair, really, and it should end when someone dies. Or if they wanted to leave their money to their parents, maybe it could be for like 10 or 20 years. I think it impoverishes the culture they're in if it has to continually check its creative efforts and refer back to countless other people's work across the board to find out whether or not they're going to get done for copyright every time they try to invent or create something. It's just not fair. It's stultifying and causes unease because you can't relax and just get on with creating something. You know, I mean, we have millions of people in our society. There's already going to be a lot of that unease and stultification as a result anyway. So I think it's very unfair that we should have to, I think it could be lessened. I think it's unfair on the general population and particularly on creative or otherwise able people. And I think that as a result, copyright should be shortened to a length where it's more convenient to the public psychology and promotes happiness for most people, which might be just right down to 10 or 20 years, actually. I think 10 years is a nice figure to at least let people get something back as a reward for whatever they've made or done. 20 years is quite generous, I think. I actually think 70 is way over the top. It also holds back technological development and so forth, you know, which is, it's just, I mean, technology isn't even creative. It's just logical. It's based on what is, you know, which is based on the laws of physics and so on all around us, which is purely objective and in the public domain anyway. So it's like with quotes. You can often quote something and find somebody else quotes somebody else as having said it even earlier. You know, it even happens with their speech, you know. So of course it would happen in the objective world. Across the world, people have found that 1 and 1 equals 2. And technologically, many people might have, well, for example, the television was invented, I believe, by 3 or 4 different people around within a 2-month period in several different countries. You know, so the idea that you can hog the rights to the patent or copyright to something when somebody else may well come up with it independently by nature and thereby rob society of things that are pretty much in the public domain in terms of being rational and objective and logic-based, is nothing short of stealing from humanity, really. It stops you being a contributor and makes you a pest and possibly even a thief, certainly inconvenient and inconsiderate. So I think copyright should be really cut down to about 10 or 20 years. For technological things, where you'd probably make a fortune out of it within 10 years anyway, and where you don't want to hold up the development of science, it should be cut down to about 10 years at the most. With other cultural things, I don't know, artistic things, non-technological things, perhaps it could be extended to 20 years, but why not just make it 10 across the board to be fair to everyone and to allow societies and cultures to develop, as they wish to. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.